Let me ask you something. What if the key to a more satisfying, more connected, intimate life isn't what we've always been told? Today, we're going to explore a world of pleasure that goes way beyond the usual script. You might be surprised what you find. So let's just dive right in with a huge question. For like ever, we've been taught that intimacy has one main event, one primary goal, right? But what if that's just a tiny fraction of the real story? Because the truth is, there is this vast, incredible landscape of pleasure out there that so many of us just speed past because we're so focused on getting to one specific destination. It's time we start exploring the whole map. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to shift our whole perspective away from just penetration. Then we'll get into what exactly Outercourse is. After that, we'll look at a real blueprint for pleasure, uncover this mind-blowing 90-10 rule, and wrap it all up with the one key that makes everything click. Okay, first things first, we have to release the pressure. So much of modern intimacy is all about performance, about hitting a goal. But to find that deeper, more profound pleasure, we gotta let all that go and just be right here, in the moment. And that brings us to such a critical point. Intimacy is a full body experience. Think about it. Every single inch of your skin is packed with potential for pleasure. When we only focus on one or two spots, we're ignoring this huge, amazing resource. So, this idea of full-body exploration brings us to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's a term you may not have heard before, but trust me, it's a concept that can completely transform your intimate life for the better. So, what is Outercourse? It's actually super simple. It's all the intimate, arousing, fun stuff you can do that doesn't involve penetration. It's about taking the time to explore the entire incredible landscape of your partner's body, instead of just rushing to one landmark. And the great thing is, it's so versatile. It's perfect for when maybe one of you is just too tired for the main event, or when you just want to spice things up and try something new. It's also a fantastic option if you have any concerns about protection, and it's huge for reducing performance anxiety and just focusing on pure connection. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Well, it all starts with understanding a few of the body's best-kept secrets when it comes to pleasure. You know, for a lot of couples, especially when it comes to female pleasure, there's one area that is just so misunderstood or even ignored. And yet, it holds the key to the most incredible sensations. We are talking about the clitoris. Now, it's a small organ, sure, but what's amazing about it is that its one and only purpose is pleasure. That's it. Understanding this is a total game changer because for the vast majority of women, direct stimulation here is absolutely essential for climax. And if you need to know why it's so important, get a load of this number. Over 8,000 nerve endings. 8,000! To put that in perspective, that's more than double what's in the head of the penis. This thing is literally the epicenter of female pleasure. A fantastic way to explore this is with a technique called Sensate Focus. The idea is so simple. Just take all the pressure off. No goals, no finish line. Maybe use a little lotion or oil to make everything feel amazing, and just explore. Touch the inner thighs, the stomach, the back of the neck. The only goal is to feel and to rediscover how incredible simple touch can be. And please remember, this is a mutual journey. It's a two-way street. While clitoral stimulation is key for her, external stimulation for him is just as pleasurable and, just as importantly, just as connecting. It's all about shared discovery and shared joy. Okay, we've covered some of the physical side of things, but now let's get into what might be the single most powerful component of arousal. It's a simple rule that can literally change everything. This right here is the 90-10 rule, and it is a paradigm shift. It says that a staggering 90% of arousal is mental and emotional. Only 10% is purely physical touch. What this means is that real, true intimacy starts long before you ever touch. It starts with connection. Think about what this means. Your words have a literal, physical effect. That thoughtful text you send during the day, a genuine compliment, that's not just being nice. That is powerful, powerful foreplay. You're building anticipation in the mind, which makes the physical part feel 1,000 times more intense later on. And that brings us perfectly to our final and honestly our most important section. We've talked about the body, we've talked about the mind, but none of it, absolutely none of it works without this one last essential ingredient. You know, exploring new techniques like these obviously requires great communication. Take something like grinding, which creates this amazing friction and warmth, or mutual masturbation, which is an incredibly intimate way to literally show each other what feels good, which of course brings us to the biggest point of all. But even with all these different techniques, all these ideas, what's the one tool that unlocks it all? What's the master key? It's this, right here, Open, honest, and completely shameless communication. The ability to just ask, hey, does this feel good? Or say, I'd love to try this without any fear or embarrassment. That is the bridge that connects absolutely everything we've talked about today. So let's just recap the incredible benefits of embracing Outercourse. You're taking away the risk of unwanted pregnancy. You're basically eliminating performance anxiety. You're opening up the entire body as a playground for pleasure. And most importantly, you are building a profoundly deeper emotional and mental connection. At the end of the day, intimacy isn't a race with a finish line. It's a beautiful journey you get to take together. The real prize is enjoying all the scenery along the way. We've basically just handed you a brand new map to intimacy. The only question left is, what new and exciting destinations are you going to explore together? Thanks so much for joining us.